is provided by Bay State Dental. Comprehensive dentistry at 14 convenient locations in Springfield, Chicopee, Longmeadow, West Springfield, Belchertown, East Longmeadow, Ludlow, Northampton, Greenfield, and Wilbraham, as well as 29 Broad Street in Westfield. Bay State Dental makes it a priority to help you achieve and maintain the healthy smile you deserve. On the web at baystatedental.com. Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by Bay State Noble Hospital, a brand new name for a Westfield institution which is improving the health of our community every day with quality and compassion. Noble Hospital and Bay State Health, better together.
Wow, it is Tuesday morning, November 10th, 2020, and counting.
That it is.
Yeah, hey, I'm sitting here. I just walked in. I've got to turn the power on so I can watch ourselves. Is that it? I turned
Jay
it
was
on.
supposed to do that, yeah.
Well, have you noticed? My back is to that thing, so I don't need to see us.
There
Here,
you are. Oh,
here.
you don't. Here, you better take it. You better take it, Jay. There you go. There you are. There's good news and there's bad news.
Okay, so the bad news is I'm on TV this morning. Then I'm there every Tuesday morning.
Yeah, but
You
you
are.
have been for over 2 years now.
Yes.
Okay.
We've been on television for 2 years now.
Actually,
No, well,
longer
yeah,
than
we've
that.
been over here for about 2 years, yeah.
Yeah, but we've been on television, however, for
In some
much
form or
longer than
fashion.
that. Right.
For a long time, but we
Since
never.
I had it on atomicradio.us.
Yeah,
that's
that's
how,
right.
how far back we go.
We
that is right.
We have evolved from at least 2 viewers to maybe 3 or 4 now.
You'd be surprised.
Oh yes, exactly right. We are probably we're streaming all over the place, and we're in Southwick and Agawam now, right?
I don't know if they're carrying your show in Agawam. You have to talk to Les Tingley.
Les,
I know he's carrying
There's
the-
a man named Les Tingley.
Yes,
Does he know he's less tingly?
he does. And he's proud of it.
Oh my God, Les Tingley.
Yes.
There's a whole show in that.
Really?
You should invite him on. He was on with Rob Goff last week.
Well,
Really?
Well, then
Co-hosting.
I don't want to be second fiddle here. I mean, geez.
Well, yeah.
We want
yeah.
to be less tingly on the air. We better
He
do
is-
that first.
He is my counterpart in Agawam.
I
is what
couldn't
he
be
is.
more tingly this morning.
Well,
That's a personal problem, Bob. They
Oh,
make
yeah.
creams for that.
I have
I've got
have
him.
a friend of,
Scratch.
Yeah, I have a friend of mine who has a son that they named Les Moore.
Les Moore.
Les Moore.
Oh. my
Yeah, I mean I'm not
That's just
sure.
cruel.
Yeah, exactly what I'm
Oh
thinking.
my gosh, help me. God help me. Well, here, let me give you the good news. Evelyn is still on the window at Dunkin' Donuts. Evelyn is the most lovely girl. Honest to God, she's so sweet. She remembers me. She smiles at me, looks at me in the eyes, etc.
That's because I pay her every morning.
The bad news is, I hate to tell you, but guess who's returned?
You told us that a while ago.
No, I know it, but now she's in charge of.
She's back
in
from her
charge.
maternity leave.
Yes, yeah. The bee-faced woman is back from the maternity leave, and she's in charge of making the coffees.
Yeah.
Guess who didn't make the right amount of coffee today?
Time to make the
Number of coffees.
Well, which ones are screwed up?
Well, no, I only got 3, and then I had to tell her that. Well, I had to tell Evelyn, who handled it very nicely, that I had actually ordered 4. And when I was talking to that other woman, she was on the news thing. I thought she was Evelyn, so I was really perky and nice to her.
It didn't help, did
it didn't help. Oh my God. So at any rate, that's my good news and the bad news. And
So do we have the proper amount of coffees, Bob, in the end?
Yes, we do. I have them all lined up here.
What, you can't hear
I've got the decaf. These are the 4. One of them is for you, and one of them is for Jay, and one of them is for Dr. Kevin, who will be in here later on. So I'll leave that right here, and that's that.
You couldn't hear the cry of desperation from the other side of that window there. I want my coffee.
I think I heard it while I was in line, but I was so concerned about not having the change in the production over there at DD that at any rate, I've just got to learn to love her, don't I?
That's
Yes,
right.
Bob. It's called the.
I've got to look into her half face and love her. Yeah, well, she's wearing a mask, so I don't know whether she's scowling at me. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to put a smile under that.
Bob, you know what?
Under that mask.
Why don't you buy her something for Christmas, and be that person that's almost like a Hallmark movie?
A mask with a smiley face on it.
No, that's cruel.
Yeah, no, I could get her a how to what are those Emily Post books about how to good customer. What do you call that?
Bob?
Customer service.
Look,
Bob?
look
Yeah.
at it this
That's
way.
called a setup. That'll get you in more trouble.
Yeah,
That will get me in more trouble.
Look at it this way.
Yeah.
The-
What?
We all go through drive-throughs, and it doesn't matter who the brand is. We all go through drive-throughs, and they're not all happy people on the other side of that window. Some of them are they're not happy to be there. It's not your fault. It's not their fault. Well, maybe it is, but
It could be, let's face it, it's not the best job in the world in one way. And another way it is, because you're making people happy when you give them good service.
you want to bet?
I love being a
the
waiter.
last time you when you were a waiter,
Yeah, I loved it.
you loved every one of your customers.
Well, no.
Everyone- Aha!
No. But I had a feeling of satisfaction. I loved my work. I really loved it, and I loved the
A lot of
idea
people.
of
Here's
having,
the thing, Bob. If you're in a younger generation, a lot of people in those jobs
Yeah.
think they're entitled to more than that when they actually have to put in the work to get more than that. So they haven't quite figured that out yet, and that's why a lot of people in those jobs are unhappy.
Oh, okay. All right.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, they're not looking at it. Oh my God,
They're not looking at it as a first step. They're looking at it as this is the job that I have, and this is the only job that I'll have.
They haven't
And
figured out yet that in order to advance in any career, you have to put in a lot of your own work.
Yep.
Now, if you get very, very, very lucky, and there's not many businesses that do this anymore,
Right.
the business, all you have to do is show interest in growth.
Yep.
And that business will pay and give you the time to train towards that goal.
I'd be willing to say that in that business, because there's so much turnover, if you show any interest in remaining in that business and becoming management, they will work to make you management.
And McDonald's,
God help us.
McDonald's
Oh, my
is a
God.
good example of
Yeah.
that.
That's true.
McDonald's is a training ground. If you ever wanted to know anything about management and how to manage a business, I mean, and McDonald's is a good example of a business that's managed to the penny or the fraction of a penny in efficiency. That's a place to start. It really is. Now, do you want to build a career there?
My cousin Brian, through his teens and early 20s,
Right.
wasn't really a college person, but he worked at McDonald's and he moved up quickly through the ranks, and they put him through McDonald's University.
That's the one. That's
McDonald's
exactly
U.
where I was going with
And it
that.
gave him so much management
Oh,
experience
listen,
that
yeah.
it helped him
Mac
get a
U.
job
Yeah.
at an insurance company where he still works today and does pretty well for himself.
Oh, I bet that's really very true. I
It
mean,
is true.
I get that, and in fact, I would never ever put down anyone that has a service position wherever it is, one of those first positions. I will put down somebody's personality, I suppose.
That's
Get-
not right either, though.
I
You
can't-
haven't walked a mile in their shoes, Bob. How can you put down somebody's personality if you haven't walked a mile in their shoes?
I have such a wonderful, evil idea.
Yes, what?
I want to put Bob at the drive-through window.
Oh,
Hey, Manny, are you listening?
Yeah.
Can we get a word out to Manny? I'll go. I'll film it.
Oh, let's set
A full
this up.
shift. A full
Let's
shift
set
of Bob
this
at the
up.
drive-through.
Okay, Bob at the drive-through.
I was on a drive-through. I'll have
Bob,
you
right now I'm
know.
talking about with people the way they are now.
Oh, okay, not back.
And-
days
Correct.
of-
That doesn't count.
And then
Because people were nicer back then.
Yeah.
we're going to announce it a week prior so that everybody knows when
Load 'em
and
up.
where you're going to be.
I think
And I
we should
guess-
call Manny.
Oh no! And then, the idea that I could be right beside, you know who,
And
working,
see-
and we could have a
And
project
see
together.
what she goes through.
Yes.
And it might open your eyes as well, Mr. Plass.
That's that this is so true. And at this time of life, so maybe you ought to make me the president of the United States so I could understand our president who's on the
You've
way
already
up.
had a
Bob,
good
that would literally kill you.
You've already
I
had
would-
a good
I would-
example
that would
of how
literally-
that works.
The stress of that. Look how it ages people. The stress of that position would literally kill you.
Oh no!
You know,
I
people say
It'd kill
that
me
the-
too. Don't get me wrong.
People
No.
say that the president turns gray from the beginning to the end of his
Oh, it's
tenure,
true.
right? Well, if
No,
you
it
think
does.
about it,
Oh, it really does.
It's
You
not
see
the
it.
presidency; it's the age. They happen to be president at the age most people turn gray.
I don't know. Barack Obama was a little bit young, and then he turned highly gray because the presidents say this. Bush, Obama, Bush. It ages you because of the
it
constant
really does.
stress.
Although we'll never know it with the president we have for the next 2 months, with his orange face and his blonde hair. We'll never ever know. Please forgive me. I'm not. I made up.
I don't know.
my-
His energy level is still pretty strong
It-
considering
it
his
is-
age.
It
yeah.
is pretty
You're-
strong.
You're not
It is
giving up.
pretty strong.
You're not giving up who you voted for here, are you?
Oh, we knew that like a year ago. I mean, there's no doubt. Bob was never an undecided voter.
No, I was one of those that I wasn't an undecided voter 4 years ago. I mean, that's how long I've been there. I wanted
Anybody
to
with a D
I
got
gave
his
him
vote.
a chance. I gave him a chance for about a week, and then I suddenly realized
Jeez, I
that.
gave President Obama more chance than I gave him 4 years.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
And then I voted against him. I
get
voted
it.
for him the first time.
Yeah. Oh, did you?
I did.
Good. Very good. Good. I think.
I didn't vote for Biden this time though. I didn't want to replace one crime syndicate with another crime syndicate. That's all.
Are you the one that wrote my name in?
Yeah. No.
And I also put more than just one, just voting for president on my ballot too. So
Oh, he had both of our names on there, Bob.
There was the other name. Was his name Johnson? Wasn't he on our ballot? Wasn't the Libertarian's name on our ballot?
there was a Green Party candidate, I think, too.
There was. Oh yeah, it's exactly right. But what I think is that we have all learned a lesson, and quite honestly, I was thinking, I'm not.
By the way, you also know the election's not official till December, right?
Oh,
It ain't over
please.
till it's over.
Oh, I know. It's not over till it's over.
Tell that
But-
to Al Gore.
Yeah, I know. But
When did Al Gore drop his challenge? What date?
I have no idea.
December 13th.
Where's Al Gore?
December 13th.
Correct.
But he had a real. There was a real issue there. There's a real issue. Everyone.
It's the
is,
same issue that they're contesting now, Bob.
No, there isn't.
Yes, there is.
Not it is. And the man is not going to win. He's got to make up 40,000 votes.
In the contested states, Bob, there were 450,000 ballots with just one vote on them.
So,
for
Mr.
president.
Coles, were you looking for a coffee? Let me see if I can find
He's
you a
not getting his
coffee.
coffee. He's not getting his coffee. No. Oh, look,
can't-
he's got
I
one
can't
now.
even-
He's
I
got
have
his
my
own.
own.
Just
I have my
said-
own cold beverage.
I got it. No,
Wait,
I'll bring it up.
Wait,
I'll bring
how
it
come
up.
you get a cold beverage? I want a cold beverage.
Because I brought it in.
Hey, I have.
I still love sparring with you, Bob. It's a lot of fun.
Oh, I know it. And we can continue to do this, actually, because I think that this was an election that both sides got what they maybe wanted. And
I think a lot
and-
of the left, the far left, you should be happy about this too. The far left got soundly, I think, defeated because, I think it was more of a thing of the country wants moderation. They don't want this highly partisan crap anymore. That's what they spoke about, because if you look at the undercard, as they say in boxing, the undercard went to the other side, whereas the top of the card went Democratic. So if you're going to accomplish anything, you have to work together.
Right, and that's what I feel is that we now got Mr. Biden, President-elect Biden, and Mitch McConnell.
Projected President-elect
and
Biden.
Mitch McConnell, who were friends before, able to compromise. So hopefully that's going to lead into some things. But it really gave me pause, and I will tell you this, that I went to bed on election night last Tuesday, very distraught about America, and I kept that feeling for about 3 days or so, and then on Saturday, I wasn't jubilant. I was very, very relieved and happy. Was I? Well, I was jubilant, but I wasn't gloating. Because I really realized that this was a hard-fought battle, and somehow or other, we can't ignore 70 million votes on the other side, on the Republican side, and so we have to then figure out why those folks voted that way, and how we can work together. And you know who helped me more than anybody was Father Warren Savage. Do you tell everybody who Father Savage is?
Well,
Peter.
for years he was a teacher at my high school, and then he became the headmaster after I left.
Oh, at Cathedral?
Yes.
Oh, I had no idea.
Yep. And now he is the head of the interfaith chaplains at Westfield State University.
That's exactly right.
And I think he's still got a parish somewhere,
we're
too,
setting up a special holiday edition of across
it's around a
common table.
Yes, Bob.
Okay. And so I was in touch with Warren, and he sent me on that day something that I think he sent to everyone. But I said, I have to read this to you guys, because this is, and it's not long, so please bear with me. But I think that this might help us. He said, in my spiritual practices is visio lectio, divine seeing, to help me focus more fully in the presence of God in prayer and reflection. Visio lectio is the slow, thoughtful contemplation of a picture, painting, or anything visual that invites God to speak to me on a deeper level. I love contemplating the faces of people. I believe that every person is created in the image and likeness of God. This means that every person I encounter is an opportunity to seek God's face and be in the presence of God with people from diverse backgrounds. When I'm in conversation with people, I intentionally seek God's face behind the person's face and listen attentively to their life journey and personal stories without judgment. I am mindful that God's presence and wisdom are embedded in the person's life experience. As I contemplate the presence of God in the life experience of the people and listen to their stories, a flame of wisdom arises out of their collective human experiences that give me insight into the mystery of life and the human condition in which we live. I practice this because I am curious to know the inner working of God in a person's life. I desire to know who God is, regardless of the person I am talking to, or what the person looks like or thinks. I seek to know the God of love behind the person's face, skin, and eyes. I'm also interested in learning how God's presence is revealed in the person's culture, family history, spirituality, education, work, interests, hobbies, successes, failures, struggles, hopes, dreams, and interaction with others. On a recent visit with my great-niece and her month-old daughter, Zoe, I was drawn to seek the presence and wisdom of God as I watched her hold her baby in her arms. As I contemplated the moment, I could see God's presence and the flame of innocence in the face and eyes of baby Zoe. I was also drawn to see God's presence and flame of tender love in the face and eyes of her mother. The presence of God that was revealed in the face and eyes of baby Zoe and her mother can also be discerned in the faces of the people around us. We only need to be intentional about practicing visio divina, the slow, thoughtful process, contemplation of the face of another person who is created in the image and likeness of God. During these challenging times, during these challenging days of the pandemic, racial discord, and political polarization, I also believe that the light of innocence and tender love is in the face and eyes of baby Zoe and her mother. It's the flame of wisdom needed to guide our families, neighborhoods, communities, and nation along the pathway of forgiveness, reconciliation, and faith. One more page. Not a whole page, just a paragraph. 1 second, let me find that paragraph here.
While Bob is looking for the
At this critical moment in the history of our nation, we need to be a people of radical hope. We need to reclaim the newborn child's flame of innocence and the mother's flame of tender love to renew the face of the earth and humanity. We need to persevere in loving God and neighbor no matter the challenges that come our way. Let us keep on running to meet the Lord with our lamps of faith, hope, and love burning brightly. And that really got me. The idea that I could look at a Republican, I could look at the other side, I could look at somebody whose life has been different than mine, and really start to get to know what's beyond that, why they are where they are, who they are, and appreciate that they too are on the same path of enlightenment, or they're on the same journey, which we call life. I mean, that's what I think. Father Savage is just so good. And I really believe that if we just think of all of us as wounded children, we are wounded children. We're wounded right now in this time period. And we need to sort of find a way to heal and to be friends and to be understanding, not to argue. We can argue, but we have to compromise. There we go. That's my lesson.
Please tell that to AOC.
Well,
She's on a rampage
please,
right now.
Please. Would you
She's
look
on a
at?
rampage.
I want you to start to look at where she came from, et cetera, Peter. I want you to do what Father Savage just asked you to do.
I do. She comes from a very privileged existence.
All right. No. No. She also has a different color skin than you do. See, here's the yeah.
And this is not to take away from anything that Father Savage has said here. And I was brought up Catholic, as I know you guys were.
Yeah. And there's some of you might not know God or even believe in God, and I think that's okay too.
Well, there's.
I think you'll find the spark of love within you.
There's the thing with everything he's written there. The problem with that is it makes the assumption that you believe in God. What if you don't?
If you don't believe in God, you believe in the essence of love. God is love, and somebody who's
if
struggled.
you want to go there, that's okay.
Yeah,
because there's something that everybody almost without exception, you can't say I've never loved. So you love a cat, something. You've loved something in your life growing up. Hopefully, it's another human being.
Right,
but. Yeah, and I, in my years, I've gone more the analytical engineer scientist side of me. So you got to prove it to make it work, and unless there's proof, I don't go on I'll take it on faith.
Oh no, not at all. No. No, and the word that he used in there that was so powerful to me was intention. We intend, when you really intend, when you make it your intention to get to the other person, to get beyond the other person, then and to understand. I mean, I got to work on that in the B-face woman at DD. Let's face it, I got to work on it with folks who may think differently, who might have different policy decisions. I've even got to work on it with folks who are of a different color because of my own white privilege.
What's the, how many things have we worked on together over the years and for the good of Westfield? Because number one, and this was a philosophy of mine when we first met, was if it's good for the community, if it's good for the artist, and if it's good financially for the organization so that they can survive, you got to find a way to make it happen.
That's right.
So that's how collaboration and cooperation work together to get to that common goal. Now, you talk about the common table and you're having your religious people around the table. We're doing the same thing outside of religion. It's just we're going after a common goal. We find out, look, what's the best thing for the community here? And that's one of the reasons that I've loved the politicians and support politicians in town that are not, they may be affiliated with a certain party, but somewhere along the line, I've heard them more than once say, look, is it good for Westfield? If it's good for Westfield, why aren't we trying to go after that?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Then that's why we need to.
That's exactly right. And
now, where's my coffee? It's why I come. That's why I come here on Tuesdays.
That's right.
And
hey,
by the way, I do believe in some religious stuff. Like that, do unto others before they do unto you. Yeah, that's the one.
Gino, this is the first time that you've ever sort of.
Where's my coffee?
Been sort of like. Did you think I sounded more like a priest than I did a radio talk show host or whatever the hell I am?
I went off the rails because I haven't had my coffee.
Oh, there we are. All right. Hey, so. Let's all go beyond each other's let's all go beyond each other's eyes, number one, and number two, let's all work for a better America. We can be better. We can be. And so I'm going to play America the Beautiful by James Taylor, which I think is an appropriate and it's a song that we all can get around. Here we go.
Oh, beautiful, for spacious sky, for amber waves of green, for purple mountain majesty, above the fruited plain. God shed his grace on thee and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea, from sea to shining sea.
Underwriting for Community Radio on WSKB is brought to you in part by Rockies. Over 30 convenient locations throughout Massachusetts, Rhode Island, New Hampshire, Connecticut, and Florida. One of the nation's largest ACE dealers. Expertise and great product selection in paint, hardware, lawn and garden. That's Rockies. Rock solid service since 1926. On the web at rockies.com.
This is Ken Stomsky from Ken's Den on WCPC 15 and 89.5 FM, Tuesdays, 8 to 10.
Community Radio, 89.5 WSKB.
Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 89.5 FM, WSKB Westfield.
I hope that didn't come out on the air.
No.
No, it didn't. But we were making off-air.
I'm professional.
Yeah, we're making off-air comments about.
I was counting him down. He wasn't looking.
What were you doing?
What you counting down? Eventually he points at you.
Oh my God, we're on the air.
Yes,
Why?
Bob.
Oh God.
Yes, we are, Bob.
Is this a television program?
If you can hear yourself through the headphones, you're on the air.
Oh my aching back.
You know what you have not done yet?
God.
You know, it's a half hour into the program.
We have yoga for that, Bob.
And I have not yet heard, wow, it's Tuesday.
Oh, for God's sakes. Wow. It's Tuesday. And I am here with the inimitable Peter Coles, Kitten of the Keys, behind the board. Kitten of the Keys, behind the board.
The guy who's gotten more gray in the past 5 years.
Oh, my God.
I wonder about stress.
Maybe
Are you president?
Yeah, no. And,
No, but I have a lot of stress.
oh, yeah, no. That's true. Now, I'm going to get behind the eyes of this man over here on my right. His name is JPEG Luca, trusty, dusty, lusty, musty, crusty, and well-modulated.
See, and I
Second.
don't
Meow.
here's what you do is
Yeah.
you don't call it stress.
What is it?
You call it a challenge. And it's a challenge that you work to overcome.
I do that every day.
Why do you get stressed about something that is different or new? Or think about this.
Change is hard for humans.
Every
Homo
very
sapiens.
Hard. Very hard.
There,
Very hard.
and I get it. There's people that like to go and build widgets every day. Every day they know they're going to go into work. They're going to put 3 or 4 things together and make this widget and pass it on to the next guy or put it in a box and sell it or whatever. There's people that are happy doing that every day. There's also people, and I'm one of those, that every day has to be different. I've got to have a different problem in front of me. I've got to be innovative. I've got to find people to work with in order to solve problems. Those are the kind of things that I love. Those are challenges. And is it easy? Heck no.
That was my yesterday.
But that's as I like to tell my boss and remind my boss, that's why they pay me the big bucks. They don't, but that's why they should pay me more big bucks. Now, I'm just trying to remind my boss.
So the idea
skirting
here
for a
is
raise.
that you need to find your joy. And you try to keep away from things that don't give you joy, if best you can.
Well, no.
I guess everybody does that, though.
No, but that's
Well,
not
yeah,
the case
no,
either.
but a lot of times we don't. We shy away from joy. That we could find the joy. We could find the joy, Peter, and we do, in arguing.
Yeah, well, I don't consider arguing. I consider it debating.
Debating.
There's difference.
Debating. Oh, good.
Arguing is generally a mean-spirited thing. Debating is not. Occasionally, you've gotten under my skin where I do get a little heated.
Do you? Did I?
Yes.
Have I?
Occasionally, you do. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's once in a great while.
Well-
you can tell when I'm mad. I'm pretty transparent in that
No,
regard.
that is true, and vice versa. I don't know if you can tell when if something is really important to me. Or
I've learned over the years, Bob. Most of my hosts, I can read like a book, and it's funny because I was talking about that. Michael Buster McMahon was talking about something yesterday.
Yeah.
And I usually reference his wife. Hey, Karen, did you hear that? And she's now resorted to sending me a Facebook message. My God, you can read him so well. She sent it to me yesterday.
Yeah. How's he doing? I mean, how was Michael's reaction to everything over the weekend?
Well, Michael still has to work. I mean,
Oh God,
but
yes.
now he's dealing with. The governor has called the curfew, right?
For those in Wisconsin and beyond, Michael Buster McMahon also works at a local
Walgreens.
Walgreens.
He's the overnight manager,
he's the
7
main
days
guy.
on, 7 days off. He goes, I hate my job. He thoroughly says, I hate my job, but I love my schedule. I get 26 vacations a year.
26 days a year.
26 weeks a year.
He
Because
gets,
he's on
what
for
do you mean he gets 26 weeks
He
a
is
year?
on
works
for
7
7
days
days,
in a row.
and then he's off for 7 days.
Oh.
That is the overnight
Yeah.
manager's schedule.
See, now
Wow.
I used to have an odd schedule myself, and I still do. I'm 24/7.
I can't
Never
figure
shut
your
off.
your schedule out
Me
at
too.
all. Yeah.
But
yeah.
it's I've been working literally 24/7 for 40-something years.
Yeah.
I don't know how to shut that off. But when I was working in the field and I had to chase service calls, and I did that for 30 years, then it was always in an odd schedule. I worked weekends. I would wake up early in the morning. I'd get woken up with a phone call. Hey, so and so needs you, and I got to drive an hour or more to take care of a problem in the middle of the night. So. And before that, I drove a truck, which was starting early in the morning and pulling produce out of New York.
Yeah.
So it's always been, and before that, I delivered newspapers early in the morning for the Hartford Courant. So it's always been.
There's a
odd
theme here.
hours.
This early morning stuff.
Yes, odd hours for odd people.
Yeah.
I'm one.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
Well, now my schedule because of COVID has gotten really weird because now I do the morning shows, and then now I have at least 3-4 hours of meetings at night. So I'm not going to work 16-hour days every day because
See, I
that
don't know
will
how
kill
that.
me.
I don't know how that works.
I go home and take a break in the middle of the day.
Yeah, okay. And
Honestly, I do
is
because
it satisfying?
no,
No,
No.
well,
because you always feel out of sorts, right?
Well,
Jay?
true.
you get good at it. You really do. I mean, my thing was if I'm on the road so much, it's not unusual for me to pull into a rest area and just put the seat back and sleep for 15 minutes. And now, boom, I'm up and ready to go. That
Yep.
little, what they used to call a power nap,
Yeah.
it does work for some people. So that works for me. Middle of the day, I'll lie down for a half an hour at home, and that's my lunch. I'll lie down, boom. Hogan's Heroes is on now. Hogan's Heroes always puts me to sleep. So,
I did that yesterday.
yeah.
I got about an hour nap during the
Is
middle
that
of the day because I knew I had a couple hours of meetings at night, which I did.
Yeah,
So,
I try to do that on Tuesdays when I go home.
Tonight'll
Sometime
be
between
worse.
now and the afternoon, I'm gonna nap either intentionally or just
Unconsciously?
Unconsciously, it's gonna happen.
Bob's out.
It's going to happen. And God help me if I've figured out that about 10 of 8 every night, I go into this period where I can't stay awake. And then about 9:30,
That means you're
I
overtired.
come
Bob.
alive.
That means you're overtired.
Yeah. Oh,
And
totally.
you catch a little bit of REM sleep, and you have the power nap that Jay just described,
Yeah.
and that's why you're totally awake at 9:30. You should actually go to bed at 8:30 once in a while, because
This
your
is-
body's telling you, I need to go to sleep now.
So the other thing you'll do,
You gotta listen to your body too.
You do is
That's a really good
you
idea.
tend to draw off the adrenaline that is built from the excitement around you. It could be good excitement. It could be really lousy excitement. Like I just walked into this machine and I can smell that there's something burning.
Yeah.
It's not going to be a good night.
Yeah,
But that's the challenge that's now in front of you.
I love that, and I have found that music is the thing. If a program on television has music in it that I'm interested in, it will awaken me. If it's people talking, oh no, I'm zoned out, and I can't. Sometimes I can't even remember sleeping. Have you had that where you don't remember falling asleep? Or is that what happens every?
No,
I
I
we
know
don't
I
really
fell asleep because there's drool on my pillow.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't remember falling asleep either.
Yeah, I guess we don't remember falling asleep.
Yeah.
I don't think you ever remember going into unconsciousness.
But music is a whole
No.
different thing, though.
But
I mean,
yeah.
you mentioned music,
Yeah.
and you know how I love it, and there's a lot of reasons that I pursue bringing music to the community that I'm in, or whoever wherever I am.
Right, sure.
It's such a wonderful, happy thing that it does to people. When they hear that song that they've been waiting to hear, you can see the smile come to their faces. And there's one particular show that I work with, and that I have never run to the end of that show without the entire audience on their feet, clapping, dancing, and singing along.
And even though you've heard these songs time and time again,
that's right.
Yeah.
You're there, and Beatlemania show that we do.
Yeah.
and they end the show with a song that inevitably gets the people on their feet. Now,
Let me think. Is it All We Need Is Love?
No,
Here, Hey Jude.
no. Although "Hey Jude" is one that everybody sings along.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What would be the song that gets everybody sing at the end?
Twist and Shout.
Oh.
So you think about
I
that.
see. Of
Yeah.
course.
So you think about it, and they've worked for 90 minutes, and I've watched them craft the show. They move tunes around a little bit.
Yeah.
But I always call it the roller coaster ride of every show. You fire up with the big hill, a
Right.
great song. You start it, and then wow, you go down, and then you play a couple of mellow songs, and you bring it up and down. And they've built that ride so that at the end, everybody is just cheering. And most of the shows that I work with have evolved.
Have that
into
build,
that.
yeah. When you build a cabaret show, you do it the same
Same
way.
thing, yeah.
You think, and when you build a Broadway show, you do it the same way, and
Absolutely.
you always have that 11th hour number, which really gets everybody.
It wows them.
Wows them, and
Big finish really means big finish.
A big finish is a very important thing. Yeah. Well, we're not finished here. I've got to let's take a song. This is the Avett Brothers. You know the Avett Avett, the Avett Brothers. They were on a lot on Chris Styles. The what do you call it? Prairie Home Companion replacement. Here From Now, which is no longer.
I don't like the new guy.
Well, he's not on
He's
any
gone.
longer. That's it. The program's totally gone.
Then they listened to me.
Oh. Well,
That's what happens. You get rid of the guy that is a one-off, and you try to make a copy of him. People
Yeah.
tend to reject
Well,
that.
Although
they didn't try and make a copy of him. No, they tried to let him be what he was, but too many people loved what it was, and it's hard to change that.
Oh yeah.
It's like you can't have a Burns and Allen show if George Burns is gone.
No, yeah.
Or Gracie's gone.
That's right.
You know,
or maybe even Roseanne Barr. I don't know how the Connors is without her. Yeah. What do you think?
That's assuming.
I don't know. I've
everybody
never
likes
watched
Roseanne Barr.
Yeah.
I liked the show to begin with because it was funny.
Yeah.
And I haven't watched it. I didn't watch the reboot when it came back anyways. I don't watch a lot of TV.
Yeah.
Because most of my time is consumed with this job.
Yeah, I know that.
Making TV,
yeah, to wit.
if you think about it.
Yeah. So I'm going to play the Avett Brothers. They've got a new CD out. It's called Glimmer 3. And I thought this was good for me because, and I thought it good for both Republicans and for Democrats. One of the lines is, "From victory, I accept defeat." Because for both of us, well, there were some defeats in this past Tuesday, and that's our commonality. We both have defeat, and
Our
we both have
commonality is
victory.
we both wake up every morning. We're Americans.
Oh, there we are. Absolutely. Here's the Avett Brothers called Victory.
I don't write 'cause I don't think. I don't have a need to speak. I don't see the bright side quite as clear. Accolades and happy days, they don't ever last. Stories of courage clouded up with fear. In the broom grass I would lie, glimmer in my eye. The sun smiled back on me. From victory I tried to match eternal light with how I led my life. Of course I was forced to retreat. From victory, I accept defeat. Waxy green and yellow walls outside my windows fall, covering the light I thought I'd see. Am I sad or am I sick? What's at the root of it? Do I throw my hands and quit? Something tells me no. In the broom grass I would lie, glimmer in my eye. Sun smiled back on me. From victory I tried to match eternal light, how I led my life. Of course I was forced to retreat. From victory I accept defeat. Worries on all sides of my mind. In silence, my darkness is denied. In the broom grass I would lie, glimmer in my eye. The sun smiled back on me. From victory I tried to match eternal light how I led my life. Of course, I was forced to retreat. And from victory, I accept defeat. From victory, I accept defeat.
Underwriting support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by the Greater Westfield Chamber of Commerce, the voice of business for the Greater Westfield communities. Informing, educating, advocating, the Chamber provides opportunities for members to make meaningful connections on local, regional, and state levels. For more information on the Chamber's many events, workshops, and programs, as well as the benefits of membership, visit westfieldbiz.org. The Chamber focuses on the most important economy, yours.
Join us every Thursday morning
from 6 until at least 7:30.
Check out the Bobby G and Company Show
right here on WSKB 89.5
Community Radio 89.5 WSKB.
Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 89.5 FM WSKB Westfield.
Wow, it is Tuesday morning. It is November 10th, 2020, and counting. And my name is Bob Plass. I am from Westfield on weekends. I've been working my tail off between watching television and Steve Kornacki, etc.
And you know how we know he's been working his tail off? Because he tells us every week.
Oh, yeah. I'm
looking at a Tesla out my window. I think Doctor's here.
You're kidding me. He's here early. It's great. Oh, wonderful, wonderful. He's driving a Tesla.
Yeah, he's got a Tesla Model 3.
Oh, my God. Is that an
cool car.
Is that an expensive car?
Yeah, it is.
Well,
is it?
It's still not as expensive as the first ones, but I still want to see a Tesla on the quarter-mile track. Because of the electric drives and stuff, it's got to take off. But here's the problem, and here's why it will never be successful on the racetrack.
What is that?
Because half of the thrill is watching him go down fast. The other half is the noise. So unless he's got a huge speaker out the back making a noise, nobody's going to go to watch that.
The car that we've got to talk to him about this, but the car that he's driving is the same that they use on a speedway.
No,
you can.
Could I take my car and be part of the?
If you went down to the Indianapolis 500 and watched those cars going around the circle, and they weren't going, if they weren't doing that, you wouldn't go.
It's sort of like background music in a mystery movie. You know, that boom, 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 boom music.
Exactly. You wouldn't go if there was no soundtrack to Star Wars.
It is really kind of true. It's true. Yeah, it's exactly right. Hey,
thank you, John Williams.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God. I have to show you something. I went to Whole Foods. I'm taking this food course, right? I'm taking a
food course, Bob?
Yeah, I'm taking.
Before you go, by the way, and I'm stealing this. This is a blatant stealing from George Carlin.
What is
I was
that?
just thinking of this. George Carlin once stopped on stage and he picked up his drink and he goes, I'd like to share a swallow. And that's exactly what he did. He drank.
And by the way, if you want to listen to something really funny about Teslas, look up Jeremy Clarkson's review of a Tesla. He was the former host of whatchamacallit, Top Gear. And he's funny as heck because he hated Teslas in the worst way. Because it's an electric car and he's a motorhead.
Oh, it's an electric car on top of everything
else.
Okay.
He's a petrol head.
I know nothing. I know who Tesla was.
He's a petrol head.
And the thrill of that engine running.
So he reviewed it and he goes, I hate to say it, but I actually like this car in the end. Because he's just a pure petrol head.
Yeah.
And
he said Brit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he said, hey, what is the funniest review of a car I've ever seen?
Tesla.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Jeremy Clarkson.
All right. So I go to Whole Foods yesterday. All right. And I drive all the way up to Northampton because
the whole Whole Foods.
Yeah.
Isn't it in Hadley?
It's in Hadley.
It's in Hadley.
But you got to go through Northampton to get to Hadley.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. No, yeah. Well, yeah. Is Northampton on the other side of the bridge?
No, it's Hadley.
That's Hadley that I'm in. Okay.
Yeah, but before you go to Hadley, you're in Northampton.
Briefly, yes.
Okay. So
before you go over the Calvin Coolidge Bridge,
that's still
then you go into Hadley.
But before that, you're in Northampton.
Right.
So I was in Northampton.
Don't confuse him, Jay.
At any.
It's too easy.
All right. So, yeah. I'm taking this course with Linda Moranti. You know that we're taking this. I'm taking it.
She's
online.
teaching you to cook, though.
She's actually teaching me about plant-based cooking, which is.
That's right, because of the vegan aspect of her life. Yeah.
All right. So I go, and I'm intimidated like hell. You know, I don't know. I know, Peter, you're going to say, get over it, Bob. Get over it. But when I walk into Whole Foods, there are all these people around me that look like they're like know what they're talking about. And
they look like they know what they're talking about.
But they don't.
No, they look like it. And it felt like my going to gym class or something because I'm not an athlete, and so I always felt like the outsider or something in gym. Oh yeah.
Mr. Plass.
Yeah.
When we walked into the gym and they pulled the ropes down and they're hanging, and I knew we were going to have to climb that rope. No, I wasn't going there.
Oh my God, yeah. So they're all shopping all over the place, and I'm looking for cocoa aminos.
Gesundheit.
Yeah. I went all over the store looking. I walked around and I said, finally, I have to ask somebody. And so they brought me over. And so I bought my bottle of organic cocoa aminos.
Gesundheit.
Yeah. You have any idea what this is?
It looks like a bottle of Worcestershire.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was. But guess what? It's made.
I can't say Worcestershire.
Yeah. This is gluten-free. And it's made from the blossom of the coconut, believe it or not. And you use
That's why it says cocoa something.
Yeah, you use it as a seasoning sauce and a marinade. Peter, you've ever heard of this?
I want to smell it.
What is it?
Open it up.
Cocoa aminos.
I want to smell it.
No, but Kenny might have. Kenny's more of a foodie than I am.
All right. Well, we have to open it. Well, we'll open it during the break. All right. So then I said, I have to find the umami.
The what?
Umami.
Umami what?
You know,
umami's a style. It's a savory.
You're right.
Ultra savory.
And so at the Big
You
Y
define
here,
the umami. It's more of a adjective than a noun.
Yes, it's exactly right. In vegan, come right in, doctor. The doctor's here, and we'll have to sort of.
We'll give him a mic in the center.
In the center here, yeah. Sit down here, please, my friend. You're going to need a microphone, and
we'll fix them up.
We have plenty of those.
All right.
Jay, swing them out one.
What was I saying? Oh, so
you were talking about umami.
I go to the Big Y and I say, "Do you have any umami? Could you head me for the umami?" Well, you know what I got. I got that look like.
Yeah,
what the hell?
It's not a product, Bob. It's a kind of a.
Well, it's a spice. Apparently.
It's not.
Well, this is okay. So finally, they didn't have it at the Big Y. We went all over the place. I said, I think it's like Asian or something. So we went all over the store looking for it. I ended up going to Whole Foods.
Hey
Whole
Bob,
Foods doesn't.
You know what umami is by definition? Ready?
What is it?
Jay, if you're going to sit in the middle again, I'm going to slap you. A category of taste in food besides sweet, sour, salt, and bitter, corresponding to the flavor of glutamates, especially monosodium glutamate.
Have you? Yeah, you guys heard of that? Shake your heads, yes or no.
Monosodium glutamate?
No.
I've heard of my mommy.
Okay. Umami is.
Jay.
I'm going to end up breaking it.
Here it is, right here. Look at that. It is in a little bottle.
Yeah, it's MSG.
Is that what you think it is?
Monosodium glutamate is MSG.
Oh, no, you can't. No, I've got to wait a minute, I got to put my glasses on here. Wait a minute.
Isn't that what they told us to avoid all those years
ago?
Yeah,
no, it cannot be. I'm going on here. Wait a minute.
Ask the doctor.
Kosher salt, dried onions, ground mustard seed, porcini mushroom powder, white button mushroom powder, crushed red pepper, black pepper, and dried thyme. Yeah.
So, Bob, umami.
That's what this is.
Umami.
So I got my umami.
Umami represents a state.
I haven't tried it yet. I don't know.
What are you going to do with it?
I'm going to cook with it. I'm going to cook with the cocoa aminos. Have you ever heard of those?
No.
Okay. Got one more last treat for you guys.
Oh, okay. But wait, there's more.
Not a single one is wearing headphones
Shredded
anymore.
jackfruit. Shredded Jackfruit. Have you ever?
I'm 0 for 3 now.
You have no idea. You've never heard of jackfruit.
No.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of all of the weird things it could be, and I can't come up with one.
To me, it has sort of a name I don't like. I mean, for me, I don't know. But jackfruit.
Well, it's like breadfruit. Breadfruit doesn't sound right either.
And it's lightly seasoned. Okay. And it's in a box.
No, that's right.
Okay. So it says here, it's organically young jackfruit, has a similar texture to shredded meat, but is 100% vegan.
Shredded wheat?
Yeah. You use it to make no tuna salad. So salad that doesn't have tuna can use jackfruit. Shredded beefless tacos, pulled pork-free sandwiches, and crabless cakes. And this is my jackfruit. So I'm going to be cooking with jackfruit this week. And no wonder I felt intimidated.
Well, thank
Jackfruit
Linda
is a
for
good
giving
source
us a
of
whole
vitamin
segment
C,
here.
Yeah.
potassium, dietary fiber, and other important vitamins and minerals.
I got to open up
Also,
the box.
research suggests that compounds in the flesh,
you
seeds,
eat
and
it
other
raw out
parts
of
of
the
the
box?
plant
Yeah.
may have the potential to treat or prevent a number of health conditions. Jackfruit is a popular meat substitute.
Oh my God! Look at this, doctor. Look, it looks like this. Looks like what does this look like to you?
I'd rather not say on
It looks like particle board.
It looks like poo.
It looks like particle board with a little, and it has this brown sauce in it. And it really, oh my! It does kind of look like tuna, though. doesn't it?
Artocarpus heterophyllus.
What is it?
The scientific name, Artocarpus heterophyllus.
Uh-huh.
That's a jackfruit.
And it's jackfruit. The name of it is jackfruit.
Yeah.
I wonder what it looks like growing in the wild.
You really don't.
No.
It's got a spiny skin and it's very large.
Uh-huh.
490 milligrams of sodium.
This has 400.
Yes.
Okay. So this is a
That's the preservative.
90
milligrams of sodium.
So if you have a little hypertension, you're going to have a lot of.
Yeah, is that like an official bunch load of this?
Yes, that
okay.
is a significant amount of salt.
Oh my word!
You can buy it at Stop and Shop, Bob.
490 milligrams.
Right.
Oh my God!
That's because it's preserved, Bob.
That'll clog
Anything
your arteries.
preserved is usually in
The
salt.
good news is it'll never go bad.
The good news is that the bad news is I won't be around to see it not go bad.
Yes, I would take
Yeah,
it.
that's exactly right. So, adventures in cooking. I've got to tell you, I'm going to be making something similar, something with all of this stuff in the next 2 days. So, stay tuned for that. At any rate, hey, Doctor is in the house, Dr. Kevin Coughlin, and glad to have you, Doc.
Hey, glad to be here.
Yeah. We are going to also take a break. I want to play for you. Today is the 51st anniversary of Sesame Street. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Yeah, 51 years young. So I'm going to play the Sesame Street song. Do you know which song from Sesame Street do you most remember and like?
Good Morning Starshine.
No, that's Hair, the musical Hair. That's not
Where
from
does the
Sesame
garbage go?
Street. Where does the garbage go? What do you think, Kev?
Starshine.
I am embarrassed to say that I don't think I ever saw Sesame Street as I was growing up.
Never.
No, I don't even recall actually watching a lot of TV. Now that
A
could have
deprived
been.
childhood.
I'm so old that we had one TV in the house, and I just don't remember watching an awful lot of TV. I was outside, and
Was it time for? Well, let's see. 51.
I'm 60.
How,
I'm going to be 63.
so you would have been 12.
Yes.
Well, you're a little too old for Sesame Street.
Correct.
Yeah. So that explains a lot that you didn't have to watch that.
See, but growing up in the 60s, outside was a place to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a thing to do.
I see.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I-
Yeah. But if you were from a family that really wanted to keep your kids happy, you had them watch Sesame Street.
Is that happening?
Your kids probably watched Sesame Street.
Actually, I'm embarrassed to say I'm really not sure. I'm going to have to ask them. That doesn't mean I'm a bad dad.
No,
it just means that
you have no idea.
I have no clue. No.
You have no clue.
That's okay. That's a typical dad. We have no clue.
Name one song from Sesame Street.
Oh God, you're killing me here.
He hasn't seen it. How can you ask?
I'm going to
him that?
play. It's a Carpenters. It was a big hit. The Carpenters.
All right.
Sing.
Sing
a song. Make it simple to last my whole life long.
Right. It happened to be a song.
La 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 la
so
la
was
la.
Good Morning Starshine.
No, Good Morning Starshine, Gino, is from the musical.
It may have been
good.
From the musical Hair, but it was sung on Sesame Street by Oliver.
We have an 8 here.
So there.
Look. So
and he sounds authoritative.
What a good dad
I'm
you
leaning
were.
towards you.
Oh, good. I'm full of you know what, but
All
You
right.
sound good.
All right. So I'm going to play Peter. Let's hook up Carpenters. Sing from Sesame Street.
Sing a song, sing out loud, sing out strong, sing of good things, not bad, sing of happy, not sad, sing a song. Make it simple to last your whole life long. Don't worry that it's not good enough for anyone else to hear. Just sing a song. Make it simple to last your whole life long. Don't worry that it's not good enough for anyone else to hear. Just sing a song. Just sing a song. Just sing a song.
Support for community radio on WSKB provided by Westfield Electroplating. Employing over 140 skilled platers, painters, and technicians, Westfield Electroplating was founded in 1946 and was the first company in the country to achieve National Aerospace and Defense Contractor Program accreditation, proudly maintaining that status for over a decade. Westfield Electroplating provides over 50 quality finishes to meet your corrosion, cosmetic, or performance needs. On the web at www.westfieldplating.com or 413-568-3716. Westfield Electroplating, putting the finishing touches on technology.
Wednesday mornings start off right from 6 to 8 a.m. with Tina Gorman and Wake Up Wednesday.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB. Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 89.5 FM WSKB Westfield.
Wow, it is Tuesday. Oh, Kevin was really teaching us some stuff here.
We were pontificating.
Yes. Yeah. Wow, it's Tuesday. I am here with Gino, Jay, Pagluca, trustee sidekick. Pete Coles, the kitten, is beyond meow. Bia is beyond the board, and I am Bob Plass. This is the Westfield End Weekend Show, and this is Dr. Kevin Coughlin, direct from Ascent Dental Solutions.
Good morning, Doc.
Yeah.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Yeah, Ascent Dental is a wonderful place. It's in East Longmeadow and other locations.
Anywhere there needs to be one, there will be one. How's that?
I need it in the next room.
Yes,
Could you make one on West Silver Street?
I have a portable dental unit, so I can come to you. Yes, how's that for a nice?
Lie down on this
Is there
couch.
such a thing as a portable dental unit?
Yes, there is a portable dental unit when there's catastrophes with weather, et cetera, et cetera.
Oh, they roll it in on wheels.
They roll it
like
in
an RV.
wheels. So my particular portable unit allows me to go to the home or to a nursing home where people who are non-ambulatory because of spinal cord injuries, severe dementia. Someone told me once, I can't verify, but an average ambulance ride is like $600 to $1,000. So
that's how much it costs?
Yes. Okay. So
I could take them in my Honda.
Yeah.
Or you could take them in your Tesla.
Or I just go to them and they don't have to go anywhere. And you're seeing that because as our population ages, the ability to get out into the public and provide service and care becomes more important. And in this particular case, we've got anxiety and nervousness about COVID. You have patients every day that say, I want to come in, I'm just not comfortable to come in.
Right.
And
that's a great idea.
That's just, and I actually have had the portable unit now for well over 20 years.
No kidding.
To do home visits, and mostly what...
But you don't drill in the home.
I can. My entire unit is self-sufficient. So it's a completely portable compressor, dental handpieces, et cetera, everything.
Wow.
So the problem has come in the last 5 to 10 years is the liability issues. When you're going into someone's home, you've got to make sure you have the support team with you because you just don't know what you're dealing with, quite honestly. I mean, if there's a medical emergency and there's a problem, so let's say as a dentist, someone aspirates something.
Yeah.
Or they start to get severe anxiety, blood pressure goes up, and they start to syncope or faint. So there are liability issues when you start doing these out of the office procedures or out of the hospital procedures. So in the last 5 years, I've used these procedures more as screening procedures. You have a mom or a dad who's quite ill. The children generally feel their parents are in pain and may have an infection. It's difficult and unsafe to get them out of the house. So I go to the home, I do the evaluation, and make a decision what the condition is, what the diagnosis is, what the cost and options are, and whether it would make sense to do it actually in the home, in the office, or a day-stay procedure at one of the area hospitals.
So here's a doctor that does still make house calls.
Yes, thank you for that plug.
Wowee.
Yes.
Wowee.
That's kind of cool. I had no idea.
Yeah.
So this means that I could actually call you when in the middle of the night I get a little jab in my jaw.
I won't come, but you certainly can call. Yeah. I may not even answer the phone. Jeez.
And I have his personal number.
Yes,
but we have phone screening dial things. Yeah, we know.
Unbelievable.
But there's a tremendous amount of the population that are elderly and they're frail. And the difficulty of getting them from point A to point B is not an easy task.
And what kinds of problems does an elderly person, as I just really kind of makes me feel good that I'm talking about elderly people as
well,
if it weren't me.
Well,
Right.
What he's asking is, what would you do with Bob?
There's so much. There's so much, and we only have
What are you
an
gonna?
hour.
Where are you gonna start with?
Yes, well, we start at the top and work down. Okay. But actually, it's not always the elderly. Many times you have today severely autistic young adults, adolescents. I actually saw a young man last week with his dad who hasn't been able to get dental care in almost 26 years.
Oh my word.
Okay.
Oh gosh.
Genetic disorder, and the parent usually suspects that their son or daughter is having some kind of anxiety or pain. Many times in this population, the patients are non-communicative, and they're looking for subtle signs. The individual will touch their face. The parent suspects a little fever, looks like a little swelling around the face, and if they haven't been able to get adequate dental care, it could be impacted wisdom teeth, it could be periodontal or gum infections, it could be abscesses, and that's because the difficulty to get in there and provide adequate care is very difficult. Many times there's sensory issues and touching of the face, going near the face. It's just very difficult. So typically in the group of patients that I treat, and I think right now there's well over 500 on a steady basis. Those particular patients, usually I'll bring in once or twice every couple of years, and we do a thorough examination, radiographs, and treatment in a hospital setting under general anesthesia, just because there's no other way to provide adequate care.
I wondered when you are dealing with an autistic person, how do you, if indeed they don't want to be touched, it depends on the level of autism and or whatever, or even a baby, how do you get someone to open their mouths?
Many times you can't. Now, I've been practicing for close to 40 years, so in my earlier days, people from Western Mass will remember Northampton State Hospital.
Oh, gosh, yes.
Belchertown.
Yeah.
The rules and regulations were significantly different, and I don't mean to be crude, but we used what we called straitjackets to protect not just the patient, but the employees and doctors. And basically, these are Velcro, what we call papoose boards, and it's a wooden board with Velcro straps, and you get the individual on that board, and the Velcro covers their legs and their arms so that they can't hurt themselves or hurt you. Today,
what a trauma, though.
Oh, it's trauma for everyone. But you have to weigh the risks, the options, and the cost. So, for example, if it's going to take me 20 seconds to remove a tooth, are we going to spend $15,000 to $20,000 to admit into a hospital, and the risks to those patients for general anesthesia, the potential infections and other problems that could be received in a hospital setting for a procedure? So you're always weighing it, and after this many years, my personal opinion is you have a family group that would look at me and say, if you're going to do it in 20 seconds to a couple of minutes, let's just get it done. Mom or dad will hold the patient. Papoose board or Velcro restraint will be used, and you get the job done. Others look at you and say, I don't want my son or daughter traumatized in any shape or fashion.
Right, sure.
And I want to bring him to the hospital. I want him to have general anesthesia, and I want him out.
Which would seem to me the way to do that. I mean, like if you're going to, for me, I don't want to open my mouth to have some of this stuff done. You knock me out and you can do anything you want.
Right. But unfortunately, there are risks, and those risks are about 1 in 600,000. Those risks can be severe, as much as death. So when you're getting knocked out, you're allowing someone to take away all your protective mechanisms. Somebody is putting a tube down your throat so that you can breathe.
Right.
And you're saying to yourself, going into the hospital for someone who doesn't have all their faculties can be stressful in itself. And we have to use drugs and medication to sedate those individuals just to be able to perform the general anesthesia that's needed prior to the procedure.
I think anesthesia or general anesthesia is such a common thing. People think that, oh yeah, it's safe, you can do it, but you're bringing somebody to the edge of unconsciousness or worse, aren't you?
And with this particular group of patients, you don't always have. I can ask Bob, I can ask Jay, have you had any adverse reactions? What have been your opinions with past procedures? For people who are non-communicative and have significant deficiencies, where's your history? How do you know how they're going to react? You don't. So many times it's an educated gamble, and you're saying to yourself, you're looking at the procedure. So what I look at is, in this extreme example of removing, let's say, a couple of baby teeth that may take a couple of minutes, is it worth that risk to put little Johnny or little Mary? And in my own experience, I guide mom and dad, but ultimately it's the parents' decision, and you have to make sure they understand the risks, the benefits, the alternatives, and in many times, the cost. Okay?
Yes.
And there is a
Would
cost.
insurance pay for this? If you can't open your mouth, I mean, you're really like.
When you say that, that opens up, we could spend the entire day. As the doctor, as a treating healthcare provider, I write a note saying it's medically necessary.
Yeah.
But that insurance company also has doctors, and they may say it's not medically necessary.
Without even the patient in front of them,
Correct.
incidentally.
That is true.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, what the insurance companies can also say is, hey, Bob and Jay had an option to pick insurance plan A, which covered it, but was more expensive, or insurance plan B, which doesn't cover it and is less expensive. You made the decision to pick that insurance, and on that insurance coverage, it's not covered. And now, right.
That sounds sort of like, you made your bed, though, lying it.
Right.
In insurance in general, I've got my own opinion. You'll probably figure out. Now, don't get me wrong. In all my years of doing my real job, I've had a lot of insurance companies that I've made a lot of money off of, because we print whatever policies, whatever. They print it on my machines. Of course, now they're online now.
But God, yeah.
We've got what we have today, which is a myriad of different things. What is your opinion, doctor, on, I'm putting you on the spot, on national health care? One price, one size fits all. Would it work?
It will definitely work, in my opinion. I think the more important question is, everyone, if you drive down the street, health care is a right. Health care is a right. Health care should not be a privilege. The real question is what level of health care? So that's, to me, the more important question. And we've talked about this in the past, but let's just say, for dentistry purposes, we can extract a tooth for $10, and we can do a root canal, build up and crown, and save the tooth for $100. Well, now you have a choice. So in reality, you're getting care whether we remove the tooth or save the tooth. However, from a cost standpoint, one procedure costs X and the other costs 5 times X. And that goes throughout healthcare. Are you going to do kidney transplants on people in their 90s? Are you going to do heart transplants on people who have cancer? Where the prognosis is poor, and I've always said this, you have a finite amount of resources. You have a finite amount of dollars.
Right.
Where are you going to put those dollars? So for dentistry per se, is there anyone who wouldn't want 32 perfectly straight and beautiful teeth? And I think everybody would.
Well,
but there's
to have 32?
Yeah, well, we could get away with just the front 6.
God, okay.
Just don't smile. So the
Yeah,
question
really.
comes in is, there's a cost to these different decisions, and someone has to pay that cost. And even if you lowered everything and you just said, hey, Kevin, instead of making $100,000, you're only going to make $10,000. It's all relative.
Yeah.
If I'm making $10,000, then you guys might be making $5,000. And if they're making $5,000, that person out there might be making $500.
Right.
It's
Now
all relative.
That's the business models. And and it's all the same thing with the minimum wage. When you start paying everybody minimum wage of $15 or $20, well, your hamburger is going to cost you $15.
That's right.
And those are, but really the choice comes down is Mr. and Mrs. Smith have many options in healthcare. For example, if let's just say you have severe cardiovascular problems, severe diabetes, well, the most inexpensive way to solve that would be exercise and weight loss.
Yeah.
There's no cost to that.
Yeah.
Zero. Okay. For dentistry, if you want to eliminate almost all dental problems,
what are we going to
eat
do?
a decent diet and clean your teeth.
Period.
Again, zero cost. But in America, people allow the problems to occur. Once the problems have occurred, there's a cost to that treatment. And that treatment has various options. So in dentistry, we could pull the tooth and you could go without it. You've received care and treatment. So when people say, there's nothing wrong with having a tooth removed, but for most people, they want the tooth removed, then they want it replaced with an implant, and that's another form of treatment. So the question for the country is, what level of care is considered acceptable, and who's going to make that decision?
It's going to be perfect care all the time, every day.
And that is that's unachievable in my opinion, and I don't think it'll ever be achieved.
There's
because we're human beings.
Yeah, yes, exactly.
I'm drinking a coffee right now with artificial sugar.
Right.
All right.
We just had about 40. We had a taste of umami powder.
You just ingested 490 milligrams of sodium.
Oh,
and monosodium glutamate.
Yes.
MSG.
Yes.
No. We found out, Peter, that umami is not MSG. And thank the Lord.
Not according to the dictionary.
Oh, really? Oh. Wow.
Are you talking into your microphone, Bob? You sound like
Am
you're
I?
in a hollow room somewhere.
There we are.
Much better.
Is that good?
Yeah.
So changing the subject, let me tell you, I just completed a program from the AAFE, the American Academy of Facial Aesthetics. And I just did about 600 hours because with COVID, we've got a lot of time on our hands because you're not going out socializing. So I've been doing a tremendous amount of training and online studying, which personally I actually find very enjoyable.
I love it. Yeah,
and,
that you're growing as a dentist, and you're growing as an esthetician. You're growing as a person. You got new knowledge.
He's getting to be a better doc.
So listen to this statistic.
Yeah, go ahead.
The American Dental Association estimates that 680,000 teeth a year are either removed or root canaled for no reason. And the reason is...
Say the figure again.
680,000 teeth a year are either root canaled or extracted for, quote, the wrong reason. Mr. and Mrs. Smith come in, say, my tooth hurts.
Yeah.
You go, okay, it hurts. We can root canal it or remove it. And what they're finding is a lot of dental pain is associated with other oral facial pains. In other words, the muscles of mastication, the muscles in the head and neck have these trigger point areas or nodules of taut bands in their muscles. And that pain is referred and emanates to many of the dental or teeth areas. And many times a dentist, myself included, I'm sure, along with other dentists, are making a misdiagnosis because Mr. and Mrs. Smith says, that's the tooth.
I come in,
the tooth hurts.
I had this.
That's the tooth that hurts. And you better
I
take
have
care of it.
I have twinges in this tooth that I can't stand. I know there's a cavity in this tooth. I know, or there's something going on.
Of an old Three Stooges episode where they go, you're sitting in the dentist chair, and the guy's got a little ball peen hammer and a chisel, and he goes, "Does that hurt? Does that hurt? Does that hurt? Ow! Yeah, okay, that tooth is coming out."
Tooth.
Yeah,
but that pain that's emanating from the tooth could actually be emanating from the various muscles in the head and neck, called referred pain. And the treatment is what they call a trigger point injection. And basically, you're palpating between 4 and 8 pounds of pressure in specific muscles to see if you can stimulate the pain in that same area. So, for example, the masseter muscles and the temporalis muscles, which are probably the two strongest clenching muscles, there are these little nodules of trigger points in those muscles, and by putting pressure on it, you can sometimes simulate the pain that the patient has, and it may not actually be tooth-borne. It may be muscle-borne. And in particular, with this stressful time of COVID, at least in my practice, more and more people are complaining of jaw pain, headaches, earaches, and it's from clenching. They're just stressed and aggravated.
Oh, yeah.
Am I working? Am I not working?
Yeah.
Can I get the kids to school or not get the kids to school?
Yeah. It's an interesting thing because you then have to rely on your doctor, I was going to say surgeon, to make that decision for you, because you're going to tell me that this tooth needs to come out. Well, I had that very recently. One of my doctors, my real doctor, not my real doctor,
your physician and your dentist is the better way to explain it, because they're all doctors. So I usually, when people say that, I'll say my physician and my dentist, my chiropractor, my podiatrist.
Brilliant.
Okay. Rather than just say they're all doctors, that's what they are. This one's a physician, this one's a dentist, this one's a chiropractor, this one's a podiatrist.
Isn't it
They all have
interesting?
doctor's degree.
I'm going to the physician's office. No one ever, this is a word that no one ever uses.
Well, I'm glad I could educate the public.
This is very good. Well, my physician.
I might come back next month.
My physician said, you better see the dentist about this tooth over here. And then I go to the dentist, and unfortunately, my doctor was stuck in India, Pakistan for a while because of COVID. So I had another dentist come in and who was going to take a tooth out, and I was on the way to having the tooth out. Finally, what happened was that my doctor came, my dentist came back, and was there on the day that I was supposed to have the tooth out, and came in and said, "You don't need to have that tooth out.
Maybe it's time for a new dentist."
Yeah. And so I have
I'm going subliminal, Kevin.
I have that tooth. Yeah, I have that tooth right there,
and it's still
and I would have had that taken out and had to go through that. You know what I go through, the trauma of, what that's like. Knock me out and give me a.
And it's traumatizing. But what it shows you is, when we were talking about the right of health care, there's two things. One, the level of care that we're going to provide. And two, we just assume as the public that all medical people have the same training, knowledge, and background.
Somebody ended up at the bottom of the class.
And and what it is in my opinion, you never stop learning. Yet it becomes more difficult to get out there and continue to train and stay up to date. It's expensive, it's time consuming, but I think healthcare professionals, but really any professional, their occupation changes. And if you don't continue to keep up with it, I think you fall behind and you're missing out. You have children, you have relationships, you have financial issues. Right now we have travel bans. So it's difficult to do it, but I think all professions, you have to stay on your game. You have
In order
to
to
continue.
stay relevant with your business, you have to learn. Technology changes, knowledge changes, and if you stagnate, you become irrelevant.
And that's why, as a cook, I have now learned what umami and jackfruit is.
Hallelujah.
Oh, yeah.
We hope to get some samples next week.
Oh, I'm going to make you would you like a nice non-tuna sandwich?
I'm going to pass on that particular.
The jackfruit.
I don't like corned beef either.
Oh,
and that
God.
kind of looks
You
like,
eat with your eyes. You look at the thing, and if it looks like particle board with a little sauce on it, I'm not going to eat it.
And also with your smell.
Oh, that's true.
That smell
That's
and
right.
that visual also adds to your appetite.
Well,
and
I'm not going to
know.
open the bag here to smell the jackfruit.
No, we'll wait.
Yeah, we'll wait on that. Hey, let's play a song. This is from Wisconsin, and I asked him to pick a song for the
We have
week.
way too much fun doing it.
Oh yeah, Jubilation. This song is actually by a woman that I didn't know. Norma Tanega had a big hit with her song "Walkin' My Dog Named Cat." Do you remember that song?
No.
Well, neither one of you were. She died at 80 years old recently, so probably you don't know "Walkin' My Dog Named Cat."
My two kids.
No.
I do.
No, you never heard it.
but
What is
my-
that? Your kid?
My two kids. They used to watch a cartoon called Cat Dog. Is that the same thing?
Well, maybe on Sesame Street they sang "Walking My Dog Named Cat." I'm not playing "Walking My Dog Named Cat," incidentally. I just have to tell you.
Tell me that
I'm-
story. Tell you
yeah.
this
I'm going to
story,
put. So
He's
her name
famous
is
for that.
Norma Tanega, and believe it or not, her claim to fame was she wrote lots of songs, and she wrote them with Dusty Springfield. You know who Dusty Springfield is?
Yes.
You all know.
I do know who Dusty Springfield is.
I do not.
Oh, come on.
I'm telling you.
You would know if you heard it, Dusty Springfield.
Dusty Springfield is.
Help me out here.
Okay.
I knew a guy on the.
How
on the
can
radio
I
called
be
Dusty-
sure in a world
Done.
of
That
for
I'm
one,
familiar with.
the look of love. Dusty Springfield.
I thought that was what's his name?
Yeah.
Who's the piano player? Burt Bacharach.
No, that it's not
Maybe
even
he
close.
wrote-
He had nothing to do
Listen,
with
you can
Yeah.
let me down a little easy here. You don't have to insult me in front of the public, okay?
Here.
I'm a dentist.
Hey, that's
I'm not a musician.
You're not a.
Yes.
All right, so
Son of a preacher man was Dusty Springfield.
son of a preacher man.
Oh, yes.
Now you know.
Oh, I know that.
She okay. So anyway, her claim to fame for Norma Tanega's claim to fame is she was Dusty Springfield's girlfriend for 5 years, and she worked with Dusty Springfield to write a lot of songs together and stuff. And she then became a painter and moved to her family was Filipino and oh God, what was the other ethnicity? Maybe Mexican. So anyway, she moved to New Mexico and became a very good painter. And she just died this past year at 80 years old. So I'm going to play Jubilation by Norma Tanega.
Come free with me, come and love me, burst the shell with me. Come be 1, 2, 3 with me, you and I and us. Jubilation, jubilation, it's the time to live. Come be 1, 2, 3 with me, you and I and us. You're standing alone, empty, drowned in your shell. No singing of bells. Your cold prison soul hides your eyes from the sky. You're drowned, you can't fly. Come free with me, come and love me. Burst the shell with me. Come be 1, 2, 3 with me, you and I and us. Jubilation, jubilation, it's the time to live. Come be 1, 2, 3 with me, you and I and us. I'm standing alone, empty, drowned in my shell. No singing of bells. My cold prison soul hides my eyes from the sky. Alone I can't fly. Come free with me, come and love me. Burst the shell
Support for community radio on WSKB is provided by Betts Plumbing and Heating Supply Company, an independent, family-owned wholesaler serving Westfield for over 50 years, specializing in plumbing, heating, and industrial piping supplies. On the web at bettsplumbing.com or at 14 Coleman Avenue in Westfield. Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by the Dunkin' Donuts shops of Westfield and the Sardinia family. It's nice to know that even as the world changes, Dunkin' Coffee remains the same at 7 convenient locations throughout Westfield.
Hi, it's Bob Plass, and I have Wow, It's Tuesday, every Tuesday, 6 to 8. Wow, it's Tuesday.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB.
I did it!
Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 89.5 FM, WSKB Westfield.
Okay, all right. Because they had this sort of... Wasn't Harry Chapin the why?
Cat Stevens.
Oh, we're still... Oh, yes, here we are. We're on the air.
Does the audience know I'm teaching you about Harry Chapin now, or you're going to go?
No, they had no idea what we...
Story again, how you saw a documentary on Harry Chapin.
Yeah, and I don't think he's one of Bob's favorite artists.
I don't
okay?
think Bob
and I'm not
knows
going to
who
hold
he is.
that.
No,
I'm not
I know
gonna hold
who
it
he is. It's
against
a
him.
storytelling
Never heard of him
thing.
before.
Cats in the cradle and the silver spoon, fish in the spoon. The little boy ran away with the spoon.
Yeah,
But
Little Boy Blue in the Man in the Moon. And my understanding is his wife actually wrote this poem for her children. And when he married her and ended up with her 3 children, she explained this poem to him. He liked it, and he turned that into that song, The Cat's in the Cradle.
it was
a
never one
document.
of my favorites.
It was never.
No,
Okay.
I'm sorry. But Harry Chapin was really well known as his story. I always get him confused, as I just said, with Gordon Lightfoot. For some reason,
Lightfoot was a boat up in the Great Lakes.
Well, he was Harry Chapin, the one that wrote I was in my car, and a woman got in, and she was a big movie star, and I...
Old Anxiety.
What's the name of that?
He did one with the taxi cab, too.
Oh, that's it. Yeah, I'm a
That's it.
taxi cab driver, and the woman gets in, and it's his old girlfriend, and he's driving the cab, and she's a big Hollywood star or something.
Yeah.
Was that based on truth? Do you watch the documentary?
Actually, what he said is he said about 60% of my storytelling is true, and 40% is a little bit of an embellishment to make it more appealing.
Well, see, now I want to hear the whole story about the bananas in Scranton.
I don't have time to explain it. I want to get back to Teeth. I was just so impressed that I knew something about music that Bob was, I'm not going to say...
Was I...
A little weak. You were a little weak in that Harry Chapin area.
At least I knew where you knew it.
Where Jay, I, and Pete, I would say we were experts.
Who sang Walking My Dog Named Cat?
That was Noriega. Okay.
Noriega.
Noriega. The guy from South America that was into
Really,
drugs.
he had a
He
had a cartel.
Sounded like a woman to me, but it was really a man.
Norma Tanega.
Norma Tanega.
Norma Tanega. Go
And
right out of it.
I think she dated that Springfield, Dustin Springfield, for 5 years.
Dusty Springfield, yes.
And then became a painter.
That's right.
Yeah. And the poor thing just died in the last year, right?
Yeah. She ate a lot of jackfruit.
Yes. Yeah. Hypertension. Now, getting back to Teeth,
All right,
where I'm comfortable.
Getting back to Teeth. All right.
Yeah.
Get over there at the other end. Gino seems to be walking away. I don't know.
Jay, it was a pleasure.
He's gone to work, and he just got up in the middle of the program and left. This is like Regis Philbin and Joey Bishop.
Actually, he shook my hand and said, "Great show, Kevin." He sort of snubbed you a little bit. I was a little offended.
That's okay. That's okay, because usually I just slowly slink away, and I never say Bob's good show, because that means I'll get more of it next week.
That's exactly it. Get out of here. Now you've earned it.
Okay.
Goodbye.
Take it easy, Jay.
You are the weakest link.
Now it's just the two of us.
You are. You can move farther away from me, and then I can get in the camera. Move down. Move closer down that way.
Oh, okay.
And then I'll move in so I can be 6 feet away from you.
Excellent.
All right. How's that? Oh, no. You got your microphone is acting up here.
How's that? Perfect?
It is good. Can you hear yourself?
I can hear myself. Yes.
All right. So getting back to teeth, Doc, at 7:40 in the morning. This is, hey, if you just joined us, this guy is Dr. Kevin Coughlin from Ascent Dental Solutions. Ascent Dental is, what's your...
You're killing me here. I'm going to correct Mr. Platt.
All right. Yeah.
Ascent Dental Solutions is a consulting business that I own, and it's really to focus on young dentists or young healthcare providers that are having difficulty with the business aspect of healthcare.
Mm-hmm.
And then I focus on those healthcare providers that have been practicing for between 8 and 15 years. And for a variety of reasons, their business plan and their situation isn't going as well as they'd like. They may
Sure.
not have the patient base. They may be having difficulties with team members. Their business isn't going in the direction that they had hoped. And then the last segment are those dentists, usually over the age of 55, that are looking to retire. How do they structure that retirement? How do they find prospective colleagues to sell their business to? And how do they do that? And then I have Ascent Dental Care, which is just clinical dental care for children, adults, in all aspects, from implant surgery to temporomandibular joint issues, orofacial pain issues. The list goes on and on.
Gotcha.
Extractions, root canals. And then my third business is Ascent Laser Aesthetics, which I started about 5 years ago. And if you think of it, people go, well, Kevin, why are you doing it? And if I wanted to be totally honest, one reason is no insurance. I think the average healthcare provider would state that more than 50% of their time is spent talking about money and what that patient's health insurance will or will not cover. I find it tedious. I find it annoying.
Right.
And quite honestly, in my eyes, it has nothing to do with healthcare. But in the business world, Mr. and Mrs. Smith want to know what's covered and what's not, instead of what's right and what's not right.
Sure.
In other words, if
So how
we
does
can
this
remove a tooth for $100 or save a tooth for $1,000, that patient many times is only interested in what that insurance company is going to pay, how much they're going to pay. And the first thing that comes into my mind is, whose insurance plan is it? It's not mine, it's yours. Whether you bought it or your employer bought it, my personal opinion is why am I spending my time and expertise educating you about your plan? But in the world that I live in, I would say 99% of the patients have no idea what their plan covers, how much it covers, how it works.
So your Ascent Aesthetics...
Ascent Aesthetics is 100% elective. So there is no insurance. It focuses on hair removal. It focuses on tattoo removal.
Oh, I get it. I was trying to connect there. Okay.
Yes. Now think about this. You look at people every day. And did you ever see beautiful lips, beautiful face, and ugly teeth? And very rarely do you do it. When you see beautiful teeth, usually you want voluptuous, aesthetic lips.
Where did that idea come from?
It comes from just taking a look at almost any magazine, any photograph, lips and teeth, cheekbones, foreheads, wrinkles.
They all go together.
They all go together. If you have a pleasing smile, you generally have a pleasing face.
I don't want, but Doc, I don't want Lisa Rinna lips.
Well, you don't have to. The key is you should be educated if you're spending thousands of dollars on your teeth to make them look white and attractive. Why not take a look at the fullness of your lips? And there are generally guidelines. Generally, your upper lip is about 2/3 the volume of your lower lip. Generally, as we age, the lips tend to start pointing downward because those muscles of mastication are pushing your lips down.
Really?
Yes. And when I look at you, if you notice your upper lip is thin.
I have a thin. Oh, I hate that upper lip.
Well, bingo. Hence, you see Ascent Laser Aesthetic. How do we fix that? And you fix it with a combination of fillers and
You
Botox.
think I'm bad? I had a roommate that looked like a Muppet. He had no lips on either. No lips on the bottom. No lips at the top. I mean, like
he should come to Ascent Laser Aesthetics for an aesthetic consult.
So, if you don't have like my upper lip, okay, my mucous membranes are not showing. Is that basically what you would say here?
Yes. Now, how do you correct that? In a non-surgical means, we know how to correct it surgically.
Mm-hmm.
Another example that you'd see is sometimes when someone smiles, you see a lot of gum tissue.
Oh yeah, of course.
And
oh yeah.
Unfortunately, they refer to that as a gummy smile. But with 2 to 4 injections on the upper lip, you can relax that orbicularis oris muscle, the muscle that circumferentially covers and surrounds the mouth. It relaxes that muscle and it hides that gummy, avoiding surgery and thousands of dollars. So there is a tremendous relationship, in my opinion, between non-surgical aesthetics and dentistry. I don't think anyone knows more about a smile line, but unfortunately, the dentists stop at the teeth. And I took my education and training beyond the teeth to the outside of the face.
I love it. So, all right, so let's get back to this exposing my mucous membrane.
Right. It's actually called the vermilion border. When you look at someone's lips, that area that you actually see, that Bob's referring to as a mucous membrane, is actually pink skin. And it's usually between 6 and 8 millimeters in width. And some people show a lot of it, and some people show very little of it.
Right.
As we age, gravity and the loss of hyaluronic acid and collagen causes our upper face to drop down. So when you look at young, youthful people, they're usually broader at the forehead and narrow down to almost like an upside-down triangle.
Yeah.
As we age, that triangle becomes inversed, and the lower part
Look
of
at
the
this,
face
everyone. Yeah.
becomes wider, and the upper becomes narrower. And it's what our skin is sagging. As it sags, it makes the lower third of the face broader and wider.
So then I'm going to lose my total. I mean, the lip, my upper lip is going to disappear totally.
Yes, and that's true of all people, not just you. Everyone, when they age, is losing that hyaluronic acid and collagen. That's a natural part of aging.
Okay, so I go to you, and you're going to pump me up.
Well, it's one of the options.
You're going to turn. Could you turn?
Yes.
Turn my lip.
You can turn. They call it inversion, and basically what that's done is it's done with a technique called PDO threads, polydioxone threads, and basically what they are is very thin threads that we thread into the vermilion border to turn the lip up to give it a more youthful and more defined appearance. Generally, something like that, you're looking at between $250 and $500. There's no downtime, and usually the procedure's done within 10 to 15 minutes.
For $500, you can get an upper
lip? In your case, $490. Okay, a professional courtesy. Okay, I don't want you to think I'm heartless.
Thank you.
But these are all techniques that I think
will my bottom lip become bigger? I mean, if it's drooping, then I'm going to have a huge bottom.
Well, you don't have to place those threads in the lower lip. You can just place them in the upper lip. So, as in all medical, the biggest and most important aspect after 40 years of doing this is the consultation visit, because Mr. and Mrs. Smith have so many options. Those options. So, for example, you had some surgery done on your eyes because you had some hooding and browing.
Right. My hooding.
And if you think of what lifts the eyebrows, and it's the frontalis muscle or the forehead muscle.
I can hardly move I have a hard time doing that.
So one of the options are a little bit of neuromodulators or Botox in the middle part of the frontalis muscle, so that weakens it, and the lateral part of the frontalis muscle raises the eyebrows with no surgery. Okay? Again, some people need a surgical procedure, but in my experience, I would guide most people to think of a non-surgical approach before we jump into a surgical.
Right.
It's safer.
But you would not, at my hooding, you would not have been able to do that. You would.
Well, as you raise your eyebrow, laterally. And an extreme example is
Would I look
Dr.
like I was?
Spock,
Wait a minute. Would I be? Oh, Dr. Spock.
right, which is an extreme example.
Yeah.
But you can do something much less dramatic, and that may open the hood enough to avoid lid surgery. It may not.
Uh-huh.
But what's the downside of trying?
Yeah, it's exactly right. Well, I've already done it, so
Yes. And you got a nice result. But the
Yeah.
point is there's literally millions and millions of patients that are looking for subtle enhancements. You're never going to beat aging. All you're trying to do is delay it and make it as appealing
as possible. Yeah, you know what?
Small, subtle changes over long periods of time, in my opinion, are far better than a dramatic change all at once. And those small, subtle changes are sort of delaying the inevitable as long as possible.
Yeah. Are you in favor? What do you recommend? You must have to have this kind of conversation with somebody who's had a lot of facial work done.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And they say, what am I going to say to folks when they say, you look so much younger? You look, I mean, I felt like I needed to explain my eyes to everybody that saw me after that, that they're, oh, you look so young. Well, I've had facial work done. Immediately, they want to know facial work done. And then
generally, I would say I've had some cosmetic treatment, and that cosmetic treatment is either elective or it's necessary. In a condition that you had, sometimes it's difficult to read, it's difficult to see as the hooding occurs. So there's a medical reason.
I've had some necessary medical. I've had some necessary cosmetic surgery.
And that communication and that way of explaining it has ramifications because if there's a medical need, insurance coverage can occur.
That's right.
If it's
I got mine
elective
was
for
taken care of.
Right. Because the way it's coded and worded is a medical necessity rather than a cosmetic necessity.
Yeah. And they had to do a test on me in order to meet the insurance criteria, and I flunked the test. The first test that I've ever flunked in my life. No, that's not true.
It probably is. But
no,
the point is, what you're trying to do is educate Mr. and Mrs. Smith and all the options, and then the financial ramifications of those options. So for migraine headaches, cluster headaches, persistent daily headaches, tension headaches, those are all potentially very medically necessary, and insurance has a way of financing that kind of treatment.
Hey, Doc, but let's get back to these lips. Mm-hmm. What is the purpose of lips? Why do we have lips?
Well, they're the entrance to the oral cavity. So in other words, if we had no mouths, there would be no reason to have lips. So the lips allow us to speak. The lips are filled with vascularity and muscles that allow us to pronounce words, sounds. If you think about, as we're speaking right now, almost all of that action are the muscles around the lips that are allowing us to create specific sounds in music, the voice. Although there's a voice box, it's the position of the tongue and the lips that create many of the sounds in facial expressions. So prior to language, individuals communicated by looking at facial recognition. The position of the eyes, the lips, the forehead would tell whether it was fear, whether it was...
Well, now that we're wearing masks, we don't have much use for the smile or whatever.
It's killing my profession.
I
got to get rid of these masks.
Yes. But when you laugh, when you smile, Doc, I can tell from your eyes. You have a smiling eye.
Yes, and most people do, and that's that.
Except for that bee-faced woman at the DD, the Dunkin' Donuts that serves me. Yeah. No. I gotta
give her my business card. We'll correct.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is there anything that with lip stuff? I get people who have what's the thing that the lip? You have a boil on your lip, or what do you call it? Herpes.
Herpetic lesions are virus. That virus lives in the trigeminal nerve, which is the 5th cranial nerve. There are 12 cranial nerves that are either a combination of motor nerves, meaning movement, or sensory nerves, feeling.
Yeah.
That cranial nerve has 3 branches: the ophthalmic, which goes to the eye; the maxillary, which goes to the upper jaw; the mandible, which goes to the lower jaw. The virus actually lives in that trigeminal nerve.
Really?
Stress, different foods, fevers, something triggers that virus, and once that virus occurs, the ulceration or herpetic lesion occurs generally around the lip, lower lip, upper lip,
right.
And in some extreme cases, you'll get it around the eye, which can be dangerous. That virus, that herpetic virus, is usually inoculated within the first 6 months of life. As soon as mom or dad, brother, sister, aunt, uncle gives you a hug or a kiss,
right.
The saliva in their mouth is generally the source of transfer of that virus.
Really?
And that virus is living in...
So most of us have that.
Almost every human being on the planet. What sometimes is confusing is there's 2 main herpes virus.
Right.
One is sexually transmitted herpetic, which usually will occur in the genitalia area.
Right.
And the other is the more oral virus. They're 2 different distinct viruses. And I'm particularly speaking about the oral virus. And that's the one that...
So that is not connected to sexual activity.
No. Keep in mind that the sexual activity virus can occur around the mouth area, and the oral virus can occur around the genitalia area, but they're 2 distinct viruses. And the one that's non-sexually transmitted, the herpes virus 1,
right,
is usually inoculated within the first few months of life, and pretty much everyone has it.
Right, right.
The second herpetic virus is sexually transmitted. It's a different virus,
right.
And that virus, to my knowledge, we do not have a cure for.
Got it. What about the dryness of the lips, or what is causing that? Is it lack of saliva? Because it's mucus and it needs to. I mean, you need to keep them wet, or help me here.
The answer is yes. The lips should be moist. They should be kept. The number one reason for the dry lips, if outside of medications,
chapped.
Sometimes medications have a drying effect, and if it's not a medication, it's usually the sun. So
it's the sun.
The sun is probably the number one issue, drying and chafing your lips. You moisten them because they're dry, and then they get a little chaffed or chafed, and that cracks. And once they crack, they blister. And that's not a herpetic virus. That's not a cold sore. That's just dry.
Plain old cracking.
A little bit.
What if you put lotion on your lips?
I recommend it.
Do you?
Yes, I recommend
the lotion that we put on our body.
Oh no, it's a different type.
Like a balm, like a lip balm.
A lip balm.
Oh, lip balm.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Bob, it's 7:59 in the morning here at WSKB.
Yes.
And WCPC.
Thank you.
You got to have the dentist stop talking.
Yes.
We got to go to break.
I just got to keep the host, somewhat on time so he doesn't completely overrun Kenny's show.
That's exactly right. So look at.
I'll see you next month.
Thank you, Dr. Kevin Coughlin.
We still have to arrange a something over in your conference room.
Whenever you guys are ready, I'm ready.
Oh, great. I'll wear my hazmat suit.
And I'll be checking out the lips.
All right.
Hey, guys, I had a great time.
Me
Thanks
too.
a lot. I
Thank you,
appreciate
my friend.
it, and have a beautiful day.
You too, my friend. Hey, Kylie Minogue has a 52-year-old singer. She has a new disco album out, believe it or not. Disco, it's called. And this is her single from it. It's Magic. It's actually really good. Brings me right back to the days of the dance. Hey, everybody, get out there and volunteer, and get out there and donate. Donate to a good charity. That's a good thing to do. See you next time, and here's Kenny coming up.